Hulu's Into the Dark series takes the theme of love and turns it into something far more sinister with Down. What starts as a seemingly innocent elevator mishap quickly transforms into a psychological and physical nightmare. This Valentine's Day horror entry plays with themes of manipulation, obsession, and survival, proving that sometimes the most dangerous place to be is stuck in a confined space with the wrong person. Jennifer Robbins is a dedicated professional working late on the Friday before Valentine's Day. Ready to head home for the weekend, she steps into her office building's elevator, expecting nothing more than a simple ride down to the parking garage. At the last moment, she's joined by a seemingly friend. The ride starts off normal. The two strangers exchange casual conversation, gradually warming up to each other. Jennifer, while initially reserved, finds herself enjoying the banter. Guy is charming and confident, and for a moment, the awkwardness of being trapped with a stranger melts into something more flirtatious. Then, the elevator suddenly stops. At first, neither of them panics. Malfunctions happen, and surely someone will fix it soon. But as time drags on and their calls for help go unanswered, they're left with no choice but to wait it out. Hours pass, and in the close quarters, their connection deepens. The tension shifts from frustration to attraction, and eventually, they give in to the moment, sharing an intimate encounter. But as soon as the passion fades, something shifts in Guy. His once charming demeanor becomes unsettling. He's too calm about their predicament. His words take on a possessive tone. When Jennifer starts asking questions, his answers don't quite add up. Slowly, it dawns on her. This wasn't an accident. Guy planned this. Jennifer is trapped with a predator, and the elevator is now her prison. As Guy's true intentions become horrifyingly clear, Jennifer realizes that no one is coming to save her. She must rely on her own instincts, intelligence, and sheer will to escape. As the night wears on, the confined space turns into a brutal battleground, where Jennifer must outthink and outfight a man who has meticulously planned every detail of their entrapment. What started as a harmless ride down becomes a desperate fight for survival, leading to a violent and shocking final confrontation where only one of them will make it out alive. Into the Dark, Down thrives on psychological tension. The film's biggest strength is its ability to manipulate the audience's expectations. It begins as a seemingly innocent romantic setup, luring the viewer into a sense of comfort before flipping into something far more sinister. The limited setting, the small, enclosed elevator, intensifies the suspense. The camera work makes the space feel even more suffocating as the situation escalates. There's no escape, no backup plan, and no help coming, making Jennifer's predicament feel terrifyingly real. The film doesn't rely on supernatural horror or jump scares. Instead, it builds dread through psychological manipulation, unsettling dialogue, and a chillingly realistic portrayal of obsession. Natalie Martinez delivers a powerhouse performance as Jennifer. She isn't just a passive victim. She's sharp, observant, and refuses to accept defeat. As the situation worsens, she transforms into a fierce survivor, using every ounce of her intelligence and strength to fight back. Her performance makes her struggle feel raw and believable, keeping the audience fully invested in her survival. Matt Lauria is equally impressive as Guy. He balances charm and menace perfectly, making his character's transformation from friendly stranger to psychotic predator all the more disturbing. His ability to switch between affable and terrifying in an instant is what makes his character so unsettling. The film's pacing is solid. It takes its time building up the initial connection between Jennifer and Guy, making the eventual twist hit even harder. Once the true horror sets in, the tension doesn't let up. Every scene feels purposeful, and the escalating violence is both brutal and realistic without being overly gratuitous. One of the most effective elements of the film is how it plays with power dynamics. At first, Guy has complete control, both physically and psychologically. But as Jennifer begins to fight back, the balance shifts, leading to a suspenseful and satisfying climax where she proves that she's not the easy target he expected her to be. Into the Dark, Down is a gripping, claustrophobic horror thriller that makes the most of its confined setting. With strong performances, a nerve-wracking atmosphere, and a satisfying survival story, it's a film that keeps you on edge from start to finish. It's a reminder that sometimes, the scariest monsters aren't supernatural, they're the people who hide behind charming smiles. If you enjoy tense, survival-driven psychological thrillers like Misery or The Collector, Down is definitely worth a watch. Just don't be surprised if you start feeling a little uneasy the next time you step into an elevator.